What up, everybody? It's Golf Wars. I'm here with the man himself, Snyder, and Third Inch Long. How you boys doing today?
Couldn't be better. Get some early morning, late night golf, however you want to look at it. Your hair is looking extremely professional for a Wednesday night show.
I appreciate that. Snyder?
Doing well. We finally got a soldier across the finish line last week. Got her up, got the dub. Was a good week overall. That 3-putt by Bobby Mack on his last hole ended up costing me a decent amount of money, but it was a good, fun week all around. It was good to get the winner and then some good DFS as well.
Yeah, I can't complain. I hit $275,000 last week thanks to Marco Penge, the legend himself. Advanced to the fantasy golf final next week, so I'll be up there in Minneapolis. Should be a fun one. I mean, although that event kind of sucks, but can't complain about being in a live final.
How much can an event suck when you have like $100K in equity?
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So yeah, Bryce looks like straight out of the early '90s right now. It's killing me.
What with the retro?
And the retro
like,
double
Pacers hat, like drug rug, like sweatshirt.
Yeah, it's double.
Terry, I'm sure Terry loves it. It's a little different vibe than like the old guys.
This is like when Terry was 40. That was cool.
It's still cool. And does that mean we have to take olds this week? Because I don't really have any olds.
Yeah, no. I mean, well, no. Justin Rose is old.
Yeah.
True. How old is he?
Oh, man. He's got to be
what, like 40?
46?
Damn, I was way off. He's 44.
44.
Anything over 40 is old. Or I would consider like an old.
How old are you, Snyder?
29 again.
Are you 40?
No.
He's also not a professional golfer.
What?
We're talking about professional golfers here, not professional daily fantasy players. So Wiley, I see you in chat.
Yeah, Wiley's like
that's not directed towards you. It's directed to people competing.
Oh, I'm directing it
on the PGA Tour. There we go. What are you drinking there? Is that a nice fun drink at least?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Good. Well, you have a long night ahead of you.
So yeah, wait, what did you say?
You have a long night ahead of you.
Oh,
you're staying up until luck, right?
Oh god.
Well, you go to bed at like 2 a.m. anyways.
Yeah, so I'll be fine. But me and Tony are going on at whenever Tony feels like going on. I guess 11:15, 11:30, something like that.
Members only.
Say what?
To get members only. To give.
I think this show is also members only, bro.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Both shows are members only.
Okay, perfect. We can curse and have fun then.
Yeah, we can have some fun. We can get Cam Cole in here.
I've been talking to Cam a little.
But yeah, no. I guess we'll get into it. We'll start at the top. Scheffler is in the preconceived good wave of the weather, which I do not necessarily agree with. I'm just going to start with myself here. I don't like Scotty Scheffler this week. I don't think it's a good play. He's 14,200. McIlroy at 11,500 is 2,700 less. I think Scotty could win the tournament and not be optimal. I hate it. I really don't like it. He's priced like he's plus 220. The line on him keeps going up, up, up. I've got no interest in playing Scotty Scheffler. I have him in just for lip service, like in high stakes, but like I would prefer not to play him. How do you feel about it, Snyder?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. He has been kind of like an auto top 10, but hasn't quite measured up yet his golf with these link style golf courses over here. Like you were saying, he's kind of priced like this is Augusta or Millfield Village, where he was actually priced 12-4 at the Masters. He was priced 13-3 at Memorial, and now he's priced at 14-2. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm kind of off of him. I got him ranked 5th in the playbook for my the studs 9K and up, but I'll have a little bit of him just in case, but definitely underweight on Scotty this week.
Bryce?
Well, if you guys want to sell Scotty, I'll be buying. I think there's plenty of cheap plays to get him in there. I don't think you need to go nuts. Like, I don't think you need to go like 50 or like lock Scotty to get over on him at this price tag. So
I think he'll still
Give me-
come in around
give me the-
30, though, won't he?
I think that gets squeezed, especially in higher stakes contests for the likes of like Rory and Rahm, who we will get to. But, he's obviously in a pricing tier of his own. I've bought Scotty in these situations all year, and I'm going to continue to do it. So it is what it is. It kind of prices you out of like getting a high quality team up top of like, I don't know, if you play these other guys, you can play like Hovland and Hatton types of guys with them and get like three studs in your team. So like I get the price thing, but
I hate to cut you off, but I think the show crashed for a second there, so we're gonna have to run through that again.
TLDR, I'm buying Scotty. I don't think you need to go absolutely nuts on him. I'll probably have around 35 to 40%.
But yeah, Bryce is buying Scotty. Me and Snyder are not playing Scotty. We think he's too expensive. So that is the TLDR from the beginning of the show that just occurred. I'm not sure what happened, whether it was a StreamYard issue or what, but it looks like we're back now because people are chatting. But yes, I like Rory over Scotty. Bryce likes Scotty. Snyder likes Rory. Well, not necessarily like Rory. Snyder doesn't like Scotty. So, moving into the next segment, we'll go with Rory alone, considering he's also 1,100 over the next segment. Snyder, I'm super high on Rory. He's in my optimal. He's in my core. Do you feel similarly about that?
Yeah, I'm going to be buying on Rory this week for sure. You get a 2.7K discount on Scotty. Home game here for Rory. Kind of a little revenge here for Rory as the last go-around did not go his way. He was basically out of it on the first hole last year. So if he can kind of get off to a good start here, holes 1 through 5, you can kind of score on. I think you need to score on those first 5 holes. So if he can get off to a better start, he missed the cut by 1 shot after shooting 6 under the second day. After I think he had a quad and a triple or something that first round, really put him behind the 8 ball there. But he's kind of found the putter too, gaining 7 strokes in the last 2 events in a row at the Travelers and last week at the Scottish. Has 6 finishes of 6th or better in his last 9 Open appearances. So yeah, I'm really high on Rory this week. Much higher on him than Scotty. The matchup price has dropped a little bit in favor of Rory to Scotty as well. It's dropped about 10 to 15 cents, depending where you're looking.
Bryce?
Naturally, I want to be higher on Scotty. That doesn't mean I want to fade the other top guys here. I'm coming right in around 20 to 25% on Rory. If I was starting like a cash team, I would much rather have him be like the anchor of it than Scotty, and I don't necessarily think that you would need either. But I kind of think he might get a little overbought in high stakes. Like, I think high stakes are really where Rory gets steamed as opposed to the field this week.
I agree. I think that sharper players are definitely going to play Rory in larger numbers than the general public. Now that the narrative that the AM/PM split is so much better is going around, which I don't think is a thing. And me and Steiner both talked about it. We don't think it's a thing. But I think the show might have cut off during that, so I will express that opinion. I do not think that the win split is a thing. So, I'm going to be less inclined to play Scotty than Rory, just because 2,700 is a crazy, crazy difference. It's nuts. Like, that's the difference between fucking Victor Hovland and like the Gala. Like it's ridiculous. No, that's
well, you're also choosing to.
No, it's Victor Hovland and fucking Francesco Molinari.
You're also choosing like the worst examples down there. Like there's plays at 6,500 that are nowhere near as bad as that. You can get
then at 6,500.
Okay, but you're getting like Harry Hall It's not like he's that much worse
Gary
than
Hall
Hall.
versus fucking Auburn, bro.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Dude,
No.
I mean, okay. The fact is, at a minimum, Scotty should be 20% if he's 5-1.
But dude, again, he could win and not be optimal at that price. It's
Zero chance.
It's insane.
Zero chance. If you tell me a winner's not optimal here, I'll tell you how many fucking.
I won $150,000 last week without Goddard.
Because you didn't have the optimal team.
I'm just saying.
But it's not optimal.
I mean, but yeah. But
then don't say that.
200 is crazy.
It's not even.
They're pricing him like it's like a plus 200, plus 150 bullshit. Like no. Like,
that's fine. That's fine.
Anyway,
I just can't believe that he's like almost 2K more than he was at the Masters, where he has an incredible track record.
Yeah, let you guys fade him. He'll drop his nuts on the table and win.
I faded him last week too.
Oh, but congratulations! I hope you sleep well with that 150K. I'm sure it feels good.
So the next we'll go from the next range. We'll go from Rahm at 10.4 down to we'll go to Ludwig at 9,100. Mitch, Rahm to me is the clear best play in this range, but there's several good ones. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think Rahm's the best play on the board here. His price tag has not changed at all throughout these majors. He's been consistently right there in the low 10Ks. Has pretty good open history here as well. A T7, a second, a third, 11th, in 4 of his last 5 appearances here. He almost caught up to Gooch last week in that live event. I think Gooch had a 5 or 6 shot lead on him heading into the last day, and Rahm finished 1 back of him there. I mean, the ball strike is just
great for him. Is going to be his home event, but yeah.
Yeah. Open as a minus 160, or Scotty opened minus 160 versus him, is down to minus 140. You almost get like a 4K savings versus him. I just think Rahm at the price point here is pretty elite, so I'll be way overweight on him. Just been playing great golf, great in these type of links courses too. Hitting the ball just super good, so really high on Rahm. I am underweight, maybe completely off of Bryson. I know he was hitting the ball a little better. I see some clips from him today. He's kind of hitting that low shot that he needs to, but just hasn't really translated well in these British Open sets. So except for the T8, I think that was at the old course at St. Andrews. He had a T8. It was his best Open finish, but just underweight on Bryson. I'd rather play Rahm and Rory and then kind of dip into some of these 9K guys as well.
Hold on, I'm going to answer this real quick. This is false because you know what? We went 6-0 on the WNBA this morning. 6-0 on the WNBA this morning. The women, they respect coin. All right?
The WNBA bets have been pretty unbelievably good this year.
Yeah. Dude, the women.
And it's kind of fun because there's it's like a fun market because there used to be no liquidity in WNBA.
Oh, and now
then Caitlin Clark came on, and you can bet like 10K on a game if you want.
Yep. Oh, more women's sports. We went on that too.
My Italians.
Yes, the Italian
I'm
women won in the women's Euro. Congratulations, Bryce. But yeah, no. I'll go ahead and cut in here. 10-4 down to 91. I definitely love Rahm the best at this range. I bet him to win the tournament. He's in my core. He's in my optimal. I think he's a significantly better play than even Rory. He should be priced up there with them. I really love him this week. Past him, I'm not quite as down on DeChambeau as you guys. I think his odds are similar to Xander and Tommy and Aberg, but like he's priced up a little bit, sure, but that doesn't mean that he's completely useless and he can't win the tournament. So I'm definitely like, if I'm playing, 10, 20 lineups, I would for sure play Bryson in 2 or 3 of them. I would not completely fade it. The second best play in this range to me is Xander at 9,700. I think the game fits the course really well. He seems like he's coming around a little bit, getting over the injury finally after fucking half a year. So I do love Xander this week. After that, Tommy Fleetwood, always going to be in the mix, always a piece of shit. Then Aberg at 9,100. He won 150K with him last week, so might as well go back to the fucking well. The guy I really hate in this range is Shane Lowry. I know he won the last one here, but he's priced up like he's fucking God, and it's just not.
He's the worst play on the board, I think.
He and Hovland's prices should be inverted.
100%. While we might not have agreed on the whole Scotty discussion, I definitely agree with a lot of what you guys had to say in this range. I think the one guy, and Mark highlighted him some, and I mean, so did Snyder, that I do want to buy here is Bryson. Like, I think he gets squeezed a ton just because, like, Rahm, Xander, especially Rahm, come in like very chalky here. So, naturally, like, the guys in between them get squeezed. So I think, like, ownership adjusted, my favorite play here would probably be Bryson. I have him on one of my 4K Millie teams. I do like Rahm a lot.
I have him on one of mine too. I like him a lot.
Yeah. I think like 20% Bryson, is a pretty good like barometer of where to be. Like, people hate him on this style, of course, because he's played them bad in the past. But Bryson is also the type of guy that will like try and correct that, maybe overcorrect it a bit. And I don't know. I believe in Bryson in majors in general, and I'm not getting off him here because of that. So I think he's my favorite leverage play. Like, my favorite like straight up plays would be Rahm and Aberg. I think both are significantly too cheap. Like, Rahm, either like Rory and Scotty, specifically Scotty's price should be down compared to Rahm, or he should be priced up. And then, Aberg was one hole away when he put those that one ball out of bounds, and almost did the same with the second one on 13 last week, out of contention. Like, he was right there, and I think that might go slightly overlooked because his scorecard didn't. He could have easily won that tournament.
Yes.
Like, I don't think his scorecard really reflected how well he played last week. So, and like, that's kind of the top end of the range, Aberg, as to where like you can comfortably play him with Scotty. You have like 6,700 left per player, which when pricing's down to 5K, that's fine. Like, your 6Ks are more like your 7K type of guys. So I'm naturally getting more Aberg in my file just because I'm going to be slightly higher on Scotty.
Well, one thing I'll say about Bryson also is I think a lot of people are like, oh, Bryson is this type of player, because there are so many players that, they can only do one thing. Like, Brian Campbell can't hit it far, so he can only play short. Certain Pot Guider can only drive it and can only putt. Like, he can't play iron. Bryson can play everything. So the fact that he is a bomber does not mean that he can't play irons. Does not mean that he can't play link style golf. He's good at everything. So, like, I fully believe that he could win this tournament if it really came down to it. So there's no way I'm fading.
Yeah, I guess I didn't talk about the 9K guys, but I'm high on Xander. The irons looked incredible last week, gained over 9 strokes there. Looks like he kind of found something with that. He's kind of been searching a little bit, but solid links player. Won this for his second major last year, won the British. So, yeah, I'm high on Xander. Fleetwood's odds have been moving over the last couple hours. He's now up to the 4th best odds on Pinnacle. So I'll have some Fleetwood there. He kind of struggled with the putter last week, losing 3 strokes. Has been T12 or better in 4 of the last 6 opens. And he's favored over Xander in the matchup markets -120. So I'll have some Fleetwood and Xander. And, yeah, I think Ludwig should kind of get squeezed here. He's definitely got the talent. He just needs to be able to put a full event together. Like, last week he was right there and then had a couple of errors there. Just needs to avoid the mistakes that have kind of plagued him everywhere outside of like the Masters. He's been really good at the Masters, but this will be only his 8th major, though, I believe, total for his whole career. So just getting into it. And then I'll probably have some Bobby Mack as well. Had one of his worst putter performances in a couple of months, but did slightly gain in round 4. So has a little bit of mojo going his way. He's been playing solid golf the past couple of months and has pretty solid odds. Seeing some love in the markets for him as well. So I'll have a little bit of him down there. But, in the 9Ks, it's probably Xander for me. Xander or Fleetwood, my top two guys.
Yeah, one thing somebody said that I really, really agree with is that Bryce's fit does look like it smells like cigarettes.
I mean, if I have to stay awake until 1:30, there's no way I'm not smoking at least a couple cigarettes tonight.
Somebody else called you out for the Mountain Valley.
Mountain Valley is the best bottled water, by the way.
I will say this:
I'm a huge bottled water guy. I'm like
the NBA.
You know how
I drink a lot of those.
Yeah, because they're great.
Yeah.
You can just get them from Whole Foods online. I do like my wife does all of our grocery shopping through Prime. It's because I live in like an apartment, so like it's super annoying to like bring groceries in and out and whatnot. Yeah. It's just much easier to get delivered. As much as Wiley is like an ice guy, like he loves ice. I love bottled water. I'm like a huge nit about bottled water, and I'm not a nit about most things.
Yeah, no, I'm a big Voss guy, especially sparkling. If I'm gonna drink sparkling, the Voss is just like my number one thing that is kind of like rich person coded is that every time I'm in a hotel room, I will just immediately drink all of the water that is like $20 just because I love it. So like, I love Voss water. I don't know. For some reason, it tastes better. And for some reason, I mean because it costs more. We'll move it to the next range after that. We'll start with Bobby Mack at 9K, mustard shirt man. And we'll go down to Brooks Koepka, 8K. Why not stop it there? Snyder, who do you like in this range? I know there's one play that really sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, I talked about Bobby Mack there a little bit. The market's kind of moving his way. He opened plus 110 dog to Hovland, and it's moved 15 cents in his direction. Same with Morikawa. He's right there as well. But I think Bobby Mack will be the guy that comes in 6 to 9%, something like that, under 10% for sure. I think he gets squeezed here because people are saying he's too high priced. But I like the upside, especially – you won't need much to get overweight on him. So I'll be having some Bobby Mack in the file. I think Terrell Hatton's a good guy, great around the green player. It's kind of been catching some steam. Trending pick this week, it sounds like. The putter's been kind of hit or miss for him. But I think he's solid. Should be a guy to have in the pool this week. Probably won't make a main team for me, but I definitely think he's a good play here. Morikawa's underpriced, but man, that new caddy just really didn't lead to much last week with the miscut there. Can hit a ton of fairways and greens. Has won an Open, but I'll probably be underweight on my guy Morikawa this week. Even though the price tag is good, I think I would almost rather bet him to win, but I think he's fine there. Hovland looks like a really good play, 8-3. I'd rather play Hovland over Morikawa for sure for $400 less. I do worry a little bit about the short game here with the around the green, the elevated greens here, the tightly mown runoff areas. He's kind of struggled with that in the past, but such a good approach player. I mean, the ball striking has just been so good for Hovland that if he doesn't miss these greens, he doesn't have to worry about that. So I'll be on Hovland. I don't like this 8K range as a whole, though. I think Hovland would probably be my favorite play with Hatton second, but I'm not too in love with this 8K range this week.
Right.
100% agree with Snyder here. I think the two guys that I'd be willing to take a chance on that absolutely no one is going to be on would be Justin Thomas. Sentiment's about as low as it could possibly get on him. I'm not saying to be like crazy overweight, but if you get JT at 5%, 8,500, I don't think that's like a bad play. I get the deficiencies in his game right now. So I would say leverage adjusted, JT is my favorite play. I think Hovland is my favorite play, like overall. I know we bet him. We all bet him last week. It's just a criminal price on him. You know, if you flipped him and Lowry, I think that would be like, as Mark alluded to, that would be like a much better or much more efficient pricing at least. And I like Hatton a lot. I think that I just think that he's a great play at 8,900. Like, this is the type of range I alluded to it when I was talking about Aberg, as to where, like, you know, you can get like a Hatton Scotty build and not like sacrifice the rest of your team or be playing any of these 5K like weirdos. So I like Hatton in this range as well. Morikawa, I do have a Millie team with Morikawa. I'm kind of interested to see what he comes in owned at, just because this is about the lowest sentiment you'll ever get on a high quality player as Morikawa. And he's only 8,900. But I kind of figured his ownership would be way lower. I'm seeing like 20% on him. So
No, there's no way that's right.
I think you're right around.
No, I'm just saying that's not going to come. It ain't going to come in there.
I would bet over 15. It's kind of
over 15.
Yeah.
No, I'd call single digits
for Morikawa. Well, then I'm going to end up buying on Morikawa here. I'm willing to buy. Kind of similar to the JT thesis. I'm willing to buy low on buy low on like higher quality golfers. I mean, I know that Morikawa's game's probably the worst it's been, but you know, he has the track record here. You know, he can. If you told me he won, would you be surprised?
No.
Same with JT. It would be like, oh well, he finally like put 4 rounds together, type of deal. So yeah, I'm willing to buy on them. Guys, I really don't like in this range. I don't really like Neiman much. Cantlay, even at 8,100, I'm not a buyer there. Brooks at 8K just seems totally checked out of golf to me, and I don't really want anything to do with him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. I think the number one play in this range by a significant margin is Victor Hovland. He should be about 2,000 more than he is. He was 4th at Pinnacle as of 30 minutes ago. Now he's 5th. So Victor Hovland is by far the best play here. After him, Tyrrell Hatton, 8,900. Bryce alluded to it. It's exactly the type of course and the conditions that could lead to him winning a major. Played super well at the U.S. Open. So I'm definitely in on Hatton. After him, Bobby Mack would be next. Little overpriced, but don't mind Mustard Shirt Man too much. Gonna have him in the pool a decent amount. After him, Morikawa, 8,700. As they talked about, if people aren't gonna play him, I'm gonna fucking play him. Like, I don't see any. Like, he hasn't been playing as well. He's still very, very good. Yeah, and you're getting 8,700 instead of 10,500 or whatever they would be otherwise. So definitely playing a significant amount of Morikawa. After him would be JT and Neiman. They're finishing out the pool, and the guys that suck shit are Cantlay and Kepka. I have no interest in either one. I didn't actively X them out, but they're both really, really bad plays. Do not play Cantlay and Brooks Koepka.
I X'd them out. Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Especially Brooks. I think Brooks is kind of hurt.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat said that too. If I was Xing a person up here, I would X what?
The only reason I'm not Xing Brooks is because he started on the European Tour. So I think he can thrive in these types of conditions if he starts hot.
That's fair. I just kind of like Xing the worst players in each range.
He has to start out hot, though.
Yeah, I think that Brooks and Lowry
if
are the worst plays,
hot, Brooks will cry.
If he gets bored and tired, he'll punt like he did at the Masters.
Right. All right, we'll go to the next range. We'll go from Russell Henley, 7,900 down to 7K. Brian Harmon. Bryce, we'll start with you this time. Who do you like at the 7Ks? Who do you hate? What's up?
All right, how low are we going here to Harmon?
Pure 7K.
Pure 7K. This is like kind of normally like the players that we price in the 8K range, you get like discounts on them just because the salary's going all the way down to 5. I'll start with Henley and Fitz. I think they're my 2 favorite plays up top by a pretty good margin here. I just think like Henley's ability to find fairways here and grind out, rounds in tough conditions is pretty paramount. Fitzpatrick's game's finally coming around, like kind of at the perfect time for him. You're going back over to links golf. You have the Ryder Cup coming up. You saw Fitz come out and play a great tournament last week. It's kind of hard not to like him at 78. Justin Rose is kind of interesting. We kind of were joking about his age, but I think he's kind of solid. And, I don't think anyone's really going to play Rose here in this spot. Decky, I would love to be a buyer, but I don't think I am. Him and Spieth kind of fall into the same bucket of just like guys who just absolutely don't have it, and not like guys who don't have it to where I think they can turn it on, like a JT or a Morikawa, like guys who I think are just completely lost right now. So I don't really want anything to do with them. Straka is way too cheap. He's 7,400. That's just a pricing inefficiency. And then I think the other guy that kind of falls into the Straka bucket, like I think Fitz and Henley are kind of similar plays up top, and then down below, Straka and Connors for me. I think Corey's very strong here at 7,200. I would love if he was playing slightly better, but
he's had the wrist injury.
Yeah, he hurt it at Oakmont, right?
Yes.
I would hope that's sufficient time to turn around. Like there is a little bit of risk in that play, but I'm willing to take a chance on a 7,200 Corey Connors here. The one guy I like that should be pretty low owned here, cheap, is Ryan Fox. His game and play style just really seems to suit these courses. He can flight the ball down low. He can play in tough conditions.
Another guy that started on the Euro and then came over to America.
100%. I would much rather play him, and I think he has upside. Like, if he can string 4 rounds together, like it would not surprise me to see Ryan Fox be in contention towards the end. He's kind of the guy I really want to buy on down here compared to the field.
Mitch?
Yeah, I'm pretty much right there with Bryce. Fitzpatrick's one of my favorite plays in this range. His game's kind of peaking at the right time. Finished 3 straight. Where's he been? 3 straight top 15s or back-to-back top 10s as well. T4 last week, T8 at the Rocket. Back 9, he was right there tied for the lead there on the back 9. Kind of had some mistakes there. Ended up finishing T4. Gained over 12 strokes total, though. He's favored over Henley and Sepp in the matchup markets. I like Henley quite a bit. I think he's a really good price there at under 8K. They're 7.9. 3 straight top 10s. He's been top 10 8 times this year as well, including that win at Bay Hill. Last year was his best Open finish as well, finishing 5th there. So I really like him to hit a lot of fairways and greens, kind of keep the ball in play. Don't really force any big mistakes from him. So I like him. Sepp Straka is probably my favorite guy in this range. Has a good early tee time if you want to play off that, but I don't really think there's too much to that. But coming off a 7th last week, kind of found the putter as well on these type of greens. T22 and a 2nd in his last 2 Opens. The short game has caused him troubles at times, but I think he's kind of got that under control. At least he did last week. So I like Sepp quite a bit. He's got really good odds, too. He's got better odds to win than Justin Thomas and some of those guys above him. So I really like Sepp this week. I think Justin Rose is a really good play as well. I don't think to worry about his weather wave there. If he plays in the PM, whatnot, don't think that's that big of a deal. But he played great last week and kind of surged up the leaderboard on Sunday, played well on Saturday, and then Sunday to finish 6th there. He was right in that playoff with Rory at the Masters, so he can play in these big-time events. So I like Rose quite a bit. I think he'll be 5 to 7% or something like that too, so I think he's a good play there. Spieth has solid Open history. I just kind of feel like he's going to finish like 30th or 35th or something here, but I think he's a fine play for sure. Definitely has that upside. Burns, I like the upside that Burns has. Patrick Reed is just kind of like the guy that'll fight for your money here on these type of setups. So I like Patrick Reed quite a bit. I think he's a guy that'll be out there grinding for par, trying to play through these tough elements. He's been playing good on the live as well, and he's done well in the majors this year as well. And like Bryce said, I like Ryan Fox quite a bit at 7-1. I think Corey Connors is solid at 7-2. I think Adam Scott's worth a click if you want to go there. Ben Griffin. There's just a lot of good plays in this 7K range. I think I'm even going to play a little Harmon as well. He's done well. Three of the last four opens, he's been inside the top 10, including that win in 23. He didn't play that well last year, T60, but a win, T6, and a T9 in his 3 prior to that. So I think Harmon's worth a click at 7K. But Stepp's my favorite. Probably Fitz and then Henley is my top 3.
I agree with you. Sepp is the best play in this range by a significant amount. Sepp's in my optimal. He should be priced about $1,500 more than he is. So Sepp Straka at 7,400 is going to be your best play in the 7Ks. After him, Fitzpatrick 7,800. He made me a lot of money last week. His game, as you said, seems to finally be coming around at these types of courses that he is used to playing on from his childhood and teenage years and early years on tour. So I do love Matthew Fitzpatrick this week. After him, Justin Rose. I think any kind of issue with his age is completely negated by the wind. All these guys are hitting iron off the tee, so I do not think that distance is going to be a problem. So Justin Rose would be my 3rd favorite play in this range. After him, Adam Scott, another guy that's a little older. I think he'll be able to navigate the conditions pretty well. You spoke on Ryan Fox. He would be my 5th favorite here, 7,100. I do like Ryan Fox with his European Tour history on this course. The guys I really hate, Matsuyama, not playing him. Cameron Young, suck a dick. Thomas Dietrich and Brian Harmon.
You there?
I think we lost Mark.
I think he just froze.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny face to freeze to, but I can't imagine that he likes either Dietrich or Harmon here. Just want to continue real quick. Snyder, would you not sure if that was him joining. Would you like to start with 6,900 and head down to, let's go through Taylor Pendrith at 65? I think the 6K range is pretty loaded.
Yeah, there's a lot of plays here, I think, in this 6K range. Got to start with got to go right back to my guy Chris Gotterup, 6,900. Let me see if I can fix this. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to go with Gotterup. Short turnaround for him. He queued for this off the win last week. The ball striking has been great for him in the last 6 events, hitting 72% of his range regulation last 36 rounds. And we've seen that putter kind of starting to show some life over the past couple of weeks. And then in rounds 2 and 4, that kind of carried him, almost propelled him to that win there. Was the putter there. He's been battle tested after going toe-to-toe with Rory last week. I feel like he's a guy that should be in that mid-7Ks. I think we're getting a pretty good discount on him as well. Has better odds to win than many guys above him. So high on Gotterup again this week. We got Nikolai Hogarth. Going to be one of the first tee times out tomorrow. I think he's in the first group out tomorrow. Definitely does well on these link styles courses. Was great last week at the Scottish. Taylor Pendrith has really strong form, making 7 straight cuts, with 6 of his last 6 coming inside the top 30 or better, including a T13 at the Scottish last week. The short game's been great for him. Ortiz is an upside guy there at 6'8". I think you can roll with him. Aaron Rise, a guy I'd have in the pool. JJ Spawn's a guy I'd have in the pool. Keegan Bradley has been like a kind of a talking point. People are kind of talking him up. I'm willing to sell Keegan. I think he'll be a guy that kind of gets steamed up a little bit. I know he's playing a lot better this year than he has, but you look at his his British Open form, nothing but MCs over the last 5 to 6 years. So I'm fine getting off Keegan if he's going to get some ownership. I'll find some others. I think that's about it for me in this upper 6K range. I think Tom Kim's interesting for like the Millie Maker if you want to go there. He showed some life last week at the Scottish, was inside the top 20 there. I think he's fine if you want to go there. That's about it for me here in this upper 6Ks. You got any guys you like?
Yeah, I think this range is very good. It's kind of hard not to play it. Like if you're trying to jam a lot of the top guys, which I think is kind of the right play here. You get a slightly expanded cut to 70 this week, just with it being the Open. So I think you play a little more stars and scrubs type of deal. Aaron Rai is one of my absolute favorite plays at 6,900. I think he's too cheap. He's 75 to 1 on penny. Yeah. I don't think he comes in super high owned either. So I think of any player, I think he actually had my highest leverage score in the file I'm currently using on Sabre. So Aaron Rai should be a very substantial buy for me this week. I have him in 2 out of my 5 high stakes Millie teams here. After him, God, I don't hate Spawn. I think, you hit the nail on the head with Goddard up there. He was a huge buy for me last week. I don't know if he'll be quite as big of a buy for me this week because I do think he gets steamed after the win, and a lot of my equity there is going to Rai. But I do like Goddard up as well. Other guys in this range, I think Siwo's decent for 6,700. I just love taking high variance guys in these spots for super cheap. And Siwo kind of fits the bill for me here. The one other guy I'm really slamming here is Nikolai, not Rasmus Højgaard. As you mentioned, he has an elite tee time. Pretty big believer in his talent long term, and 6,500 is too cheap for him. And then finally, Taylor Pendrith. I just think he's underpriced here as well. Getting quality guys down here like this, these are all like President Ryder Cup type of golfers. It's kind of one of the reasons I'm willing to like overpay for a couple guys at the top. So it's good to have Mark back in. He had a little bit of a power surge. He's still on mute and we can't hear him, but he should be able to figure that out here in a second. Yeah, it doesn't show him as muted, but we cannot hear you. We just did. Still can't hear you. I love that this is the first week that we've had any technical difficulties as well. So
Mark wins $275K and can't pay his bill.
Yeah, can't pay his power bill. Hit the nail on the head with it, Snyder. I think my favorite part of this segment, and we might need to make it a bit, is talking shit about Mark when he can't talk shit back. Because he's going to come in with some annoyingly quirky retort to whatever you have to say. Yeah, there you go. We just did 69 to 65 here. So
all right, I'll jump in. I was just getting into Dietrich and Harmon, I think, who both suck. But then we'll go down to the 69 to 65. My favorite plays in this range, Aaron Rai would be number 1. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I with his history, I think that he's a great play here. After him would be Chris Goddard up 6,900 after his win last week. It's not exactly the best course or conditions for him, but he's playing extremely well. So I'm definitely going to begin on Chris Goddard up. Taylor Pendrith, 6,500. I will be playing despite Wiley's hating of him this week. So I do like Taylor Pendrith. After him, Keegan Bradley, Siwoo Kim, both have done well on these types of courses in the past. So I'm definitely going to be playing them. Guys that really suck that I don't want: Mark Leishman, fuck off. Burmester, Oosthuizen, most of the live guys, Sergio. Like, I don't really want any part of any of them on this course. So you guys both already talked about 69 to 65?
Yeah.
So we'll go down now to 64, and we'll just take it all the way to the bottom because I really don't like much in the 5K range. Snyder, who do you like from 64 to the bottom, and where are you cutting off your player pool?
Yeah, I'll start up top. I think Harris English is fine if you want to go there. Still doesn't have his caddy, who is not allowed into the UK off of recent or previous drug charges or something like that.
He was dealing coke.
But under that, it's my guy, Harry Hall. Just rinse and repeat with Harry Hall. I talk him up every week. Dude just continues to finish inside the top 25. 7 straight of those now with 12 straight made cuts. One of the best short games in the field. Going to play Harry Hall for sure. I bet him top 40 again. They just keep laying wild odds for him to finish top 40, and I just keep taking them. But I think Lawrence is fine. He was top 5 here last year at the British. Has kind of been up or down. I think he's a solid large field tournament play. Just kind of has that boom bust to him. Benyon has good British Open track record. I think he's fine to have in the pool. Matthew Jordan's a good pool play, I think, down here for his price tag there. He's finished inside the top 10 in the last 2 Britishes. So I think he's fine. I really like Tom McKibben quite a bit. Home game for him as well. I think he's grew up like an hour away from this place. Has played here quite a few times. Has been inside the top 5 in the last 2 live events as well. He's got good form coming in, so I'm high on him. Mav McNeely. Mav McNeely's got one of the best prices per odds, I think, in the field. He's got better odds than JJ Spawn and many above him at 6.1K. Gained over 4 strokes putting last week at the Scottish. Really strong off the tee. Great putter. I like Mav McNeely. I think he's like the cash play if you want to looking for a guy down here. Really good play down here. Marco Pinge is down here as well. Has now bettered his finish in 5 straight events after finishing runner-up last week. So I'm going to go right back to Marco there. I think he's good play. And I think Nick Taylor at 6K flat is really good play as well. I just like the upside that he has. He's been inside the top 25 in 7 of his last 8. Great ball striker, putts well. So I like Nick Taylor. And then down in the 5K range, there's a few guys I like down here. I think there's 3 pretty strong plays down here. It's going to be my guy, Christopher Rattan. We're going to go right back to him this week. He's now finished inside the top 15 in 5 of his last 6 starts. Can catch a hot putter, strong off the tee, so I'm going to go right back to him. I like Mark Racerman. I think he's gonna go a little overlooked, I think, off that miscut flop leg spot for him. Had one of his worst off the tee performances in a couple of months last week. The irons are still good for him. Just lost too much off the tee that first round. Just put him behind the 8 ball. He almost made the cut still, but he's been super consistent this year. I'm going to go right back to Gracerman. I think Jordan L. Smith snuck through the cut line last week on that wild chip in.
Hero. Fucking hero. He advanced me in the fucking fantasy golf championship.
That was awesome. I didn't see it. I was just talking about how his approach shot before that was like his worst rated approach shot.
Oh, it was horrible. Dude, the chip was horrible, but you know.
That was awesome. But then he battled strong over the weekend and ended up finishing inside the top 25. Has been great on the Euro side this year. He's got 4 top 10s with he's finished second a couple of times as well. So I think he's a strong play. I'm going to keep playing Kevin Yu. I'm going to keep him in the pool. He's been solid the last 4 events, so I'm going to keep him in the pool. I think Danny Brown, solid upside play. Kind of had a rough outing last week coming off that win before, but finished top 10 in this event last year. I think he's fine. And then the last guy I think I will play is just a dart throw, like maybe just a small smidgen on Hotong Lee. He was kind of talked up a little bit last week around the industry. I didn't get to him last week, but I think he's got some upside. I might sprinkle him in a little bit, but I really don't see much that I want. Maybe Anton Rosner at 5'6", but maybe Matt McCarty at 5'6", but below that, I don't want anything to do with anyone below that, I don't think.
I'll go ahead and jump in here. My favorite play in this range is Maverick McNeely, 6,100. You talked about it. The accuracy is there. The iron game is there. The putter's there. The short game's there. So he seemingly would be a good fit to this course. So I'm definitely in on Maverick McNeely. My favorite bet of the week is Maverick McNeely at 110-1 on DraftKings, our partner, dkng.co/RPS. After him, you spoke on Harry Hall. He's been crushing. Like, it's every week he just nukes, and every week people doubt him. So I'm definitely in on Harry Hall this week. Tom McKibben, you spoke about it. He grew up near here. He said he's played the course 70 plus times. He's a decent enough golfer for that to be enough for me, along with the tee time being the very first one off tomorrow morning or in like 3 or 4 hours. After him, Marco Penge, 6K, another guy that won me a bunch of money last week, even though I didn't know who he was before last Wednesday. Definitely in on Marco Penge. If we're getting into the dregs, you spoke on Max Grazerman. I have a significant amount more Max Grazerman this week than I did last week, because I think that, it's a lot of these 5K guys are dog shit, and I think that he's like a significantly good, like he's a good golfer. And so I definitely, among the 5K golfers, Max Grazerman will be number one. After him, Kevin you spoke on. He's been so consistent recently. Jordan Smith would be next. He crushed it for me last week, so I'm going to stick with him there. The cheapest guy I would play would be Jonathan Vegas, 5,500. Nobody below that fits into my pool. Bryce.
Well, Mateo was barking during the Marco Penge segment, just to let you guys know. That's probably going to be in your winner again this week. Other guys I like here, and I don't love tons, but I think Harry Hall at 64 is very solid. I'm willing to play Harry English as well at 64. You mentioned Tom McKibben. Don't mind him at all. Andrew Novak at 6,200. I think he's worth a flyer, not like a core play for me. I do think it gets a lot worse after in this range. So like I'm not trying to punt tons here, but other guys I do like, Big Bud Cauley, kind of an oxymoron, but he's been playing some pretty solid golf recently. Mav McNeely, obviously, at 6,100. You guys highlighted him, so I'm not going to go over him again, but I 100% agree with you. Nick Taylor, I like a lot for 6K. I think he's 100% playable here if you need to fill out your lineup. Penge, we already talked about. And then Kevin Yu for 5,800 is the cheapest player in my pool, and also a pretty good value play. He kind of makes a lot of stuff work. I think it's pretty easy to like pair him with Scotty and just hope he plays well. And then you can get like a really solid like rest of your roster with that for like a single entry type of build. One of my 5K teams looks a lot like that, or 4K teams. So yeah, really do prefer like the high sixes to getting down into the depths here, but there are some playable guys. Who else did we mention that I liked? Reeton. I always play one Mateo team. Norgard Muller's odds are atrocious this week. Everyone loved him last week. He missed the cut on the number. I don't think it's the
You're
absolute
thinking of
worst play
Neergaard
of all
Peterson,
time.
not Norgard.
Neergaard Peterson, not Neergaard Muller. Okay, well that's good because I had 2% and I was like, should I bump that? Last thing, can we beat the Euros ass in the Ryder Cup so we can stop talking about the Danes? There are way too many Danish golfers that are like valued
the same name
right now. Yeah, with all the same names.
All right, we'll get into my personal favorite segment of the week, the Pick Six, presented by DraftKings. I will do the screen share here.
I love the Pick Sixes on like big golf weeks, just because.
Here, let me get that.
Mateo loves Pick Six too. Mateo's a huge.
We love Pick Six.
Mateo's a huge fucking.
I
Pick
love
Six
that it
guy.
makes the screen ghetto. All right, I will say this: last week I said on the pick 6 that Scotty would go under, and it hit. Scotty was worse than 4.5. And so I will go right back to it. Scotty Scheffler worse than 5.5. Bryce, what you got?
Go Aberg better than 30.5. That seems pretty low for him.
All right, Snyder.
I'm gonna go with where's he at? Matthew Fitzpatrick better than 38.5.
Matthew Fitzpatrick better than 38.5. I will go
I have a
with
lock. I have a lock. Don't choose it.
Hideki Matsuyama worse than 38.5.
Brooks Koepka worse than 41.5.
Brooks Koepka
How is he
worse than
41.5?
Snyder.
Let's go with Russell Henley better than 37.5.
Hen dog. Better than
Hen dog.
37.5. Let's see what this pays. 1,000 to win 20K plus. Oh, I can only enter 850. All right. We were only able to enter for 484. Okay, that was a double. All right, 484 to win 9,600. Scheffler worse than 5.5. Fitzpatrick better than 38.5. Kepka worse than 41.5. Aberg better than 31.5 or 30.5. Matsuyama worse than 38.5, and Hendog better than 37.5. DraftKings pick 6. DKNG.co/RPS. I will post this on Twitter. Any final messages for our people?
Yeah.
Snyder.
We'll just have the showdown up. We did well with showdown last week. We'll have the round 1 will be up here momentarily, and then rounds 2 through 4 will be up with some core plays with some Market Wiley as well. Looking forward to a fun overnight sweat this week.
Yeah, toss some user questions out there. We have a couple in chat.
Well, me and Tony are going to get to those on the night show.
Okay. 100%. Brady, my min salary this week is $49,700. I don't think you need to go too crazy unless you're just playing all guys who are 50% owned. First round leaders. I didn't bet any first round leaders, but I assume those guys first off the tee in the morning are all probably
Tom McKibben,
decent.
70 to 1.
There you go. And
Nikolai Højgaard, 70 to 1.
I got Højgaard 70 to 1. Yeah, I got Rahm.
Højgaard seems better than McKibben to me at 70 if you're having to choose.
But yes, me and Tony will be on in 75, 90 minutes ish.
Yeah.
Hour
I think
15,
like
hour
what?
and a half.
You guys are on at like 11:30. Got a super late night show for the people.
We will.
With Lock at 1:30. When someone big withdraws, you guys will be thankful you did the show.
Yes. All right. For the two of them, for me, I'll see you in a little bit.